Had to. Dang, Dustin, I forgot to set up my will and names real quick. Lucky I got them all to the names. So, oh man, is my internet already goofing up already? I think it is. I just checked it. We had high speeds on this internet. I just told those guys. I said, man, I hope my internet don't mess up. It's windy out there.
I would think that Elon should be able to figure out how to figure windage and all that. He does everything else, with all his loop. Why doesn't he just figure out windage on his satellite?
Well, and I told my computer guy, I was going through everything because I felt like on my phone I had super high speeds, and on my computer I didn't. So them guys are smart. He logged into my computer from Tucson, Arizona, and my Wi-Fi card's bad. Something's wrong with it, and so I have it plugged in anyways, the Ethernet, and so it should be working. But no, every once in a while, I think it's the anti-hunters messing me up.
Yeah, antis are hacking you every time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cyber attack.
We have Chuck Podolak. Is that how you say it? Do I say it right?
Yeah, it's close. It's Chuck Podolak. Yeah, right.
You're with Conserve and Protect Arizona.
Yes, sir.
And I tell everybody you're the Dan Gates of Arizona, so it's kind of big shoes to fill.
I'm glad. I got no jewelry and no facial hair, so Dan's got
no
legs up on me. So,
You're incognito. So
hey, Dan Gates,
you're going to jump on. You're going to tell us. You're going to give us a quick little rundown of what's going on in Arizona.
Absolutely, yeah. So thanks, Chris, and nice to see some of y'all that talked to last time. So, like Chris said, I'm the president of the board of Conserve and Protect Arizona. So we are a nonprofit organization that's really focused on fighting the political fight to defend hunting, fishing, and trapping in Arizona. We came about in 2017. Last time the anti-hunters tried to run a cat ban in the state. As y'all know, that failed. When we started to see the shenanigans going on in Colorado, our organization's been around. We quite frankly went dormant for a little while when the threat was low, and we've been reconstituting us. So our board is full of hunters. A lot of us are hunters as well as with expertise and experience in the political regime, running campaigns, running offices, etc. So, what, Chris, we got to know each other maybe about 2 months ago when the CBD petition first hit.
Yep.
What I talked with Chris about is y'all are the houndsmen. We're the political folks, and I think we're trying to work together, bringing your guys and our expertise in to defeat the immediate threat. November, CBD petitioned the Game and Fish Commission to put a rule in place outlawing the use of dogs for essentially anything but bird hunting. The Game and Fish Department looked at that commission, or they looked at that petition. Chris and a bunch of others showed up at the Game and Fish Commission meeting in December. Wasn't on the agenda, but just to make your presence known, I think you guys did a great job of that. We had not just houndsmen there, which was really, really heartening to me. We had
trappers.
Chris?
We had trappers, falconers. Man,
yep.
Bow hunters. It was great.
Yep. I think had some folks show up from Utah. I mean, from out of state, right?
Oh yeah, New Mexico, Utah. Yep.
Yep. So what we talked about last time, right? Anyone can petition. I think for those of you all who went to the December meeting, you saw the guy a couple months before that had submitted a petition to update the rules around use of night vision devices for coyote hunting. Commission said, "Yep, we'll put that on the agenda." They had a nice discussion with the man. They ultimately decided not to pursue his proposed rule, but I think everyone saw that anyone has the ability to do that. To do that, though, you have to meet some basic criteria that are set out in the law. So what the department did is they took the CBD petition. The department said that doesn't meet our criteria. If it did, we would have to bring it to the commission. They very likely would vote it down. But what the department said is it's not even ready to go to the commission. You haven't met those few basic criteria. And they sent it back to CBD. essentially CBD asked for 2 rules. They all have the same effect, right? No dogs. But their rule, so we want you to change this rule and this rule. And so it was almost a technicality. The department sent it back and said, that's really 2 rules, not 1. You need to send 2 petitions. Yep. I fully expect to see that come back. If I was CBD, I'd say, great, cut and paste.
Chop
here.
It up.
There's 1, that goes as 1. Now you get 2 petitions instead of 1. And so no one should be shocked if we see CBD refile another petition to the department. I think that the commission was happy to see everyone show up in December. But Chris, I think they were pretty passive, right? It was just taking in comments. What we saw then at the January commission meeting is there was a bill filed by Representative Diaz from Southern Arizona. Representative Diaz's bill is House Bill 2552. Representative Diaz's bill directs the Arizona Game and Fish Commission, actually it doesn't direct them, it prohibits them from ever implementing a rule that would outlaw the use of dogs. Technically goes further than that. It says any rule you have prohibiting the use of dogs in any sort of hunting is out of the way, which causes some problem for deer hunters, because technically under his bill as it's written right now, you could run hounds on deer. No one was trying to make that happen. Anyway, so the January board meeting, I know Chris was there with the kids. The commission talked about that, and I think what you should have heard, and what anyone can go listen to record a commission meeting, is the commission is strongly in support of the use of dogs as it exists. You should see. I think it should be very clear that every one of those commissioners is an ally and would have zero intent of ever enacting the kind of rule that CBD is asking for them to do. So sort of action on 2 fronts, right? Action, I think CBD is probably not done. I think we see the petition go back. I think, the commission, the department will look at the new petitions whenever they come in and say, yeah, you guys got the memo this time. It's properly formatted. We're going to put it in front of the commission March, April, May, something like that. So I think there will be a commission meeting where the commission does hear CBD. There is no way that this commission would put that rule into place. So I think it'll be a non-event when they do put it on their agenda, but that'll be something that'll come up this spring, and that will be a good time, I think, again, to energize the community, not just the houndsmen, but all the other hunters to come in and show their support for game and fish. Mm-hmm. So one fight we're having, right, is at the commission, and we'll continue to work on messaging and getting people at the appropriate time. The second arena we're having this fight right now, legislature. Right, so there is a bill. That bill will be heard in committee, in the House committee on Monday. That's the first step in committee, House floor, go to the Senate committee, Senate floor, and then eventually go to the governor. I would like to live in a world where it was illegal to write a rule outlawing the use of dogs. Unfortunately, that's not the world we live in. We have a Democrat governor who's facing a contested Democrat primary coming up in a year and a half. That Democrat governor will not sign that bill. Katie Hobbs is not going to sign Representative Diaz's bill into law. So what I think that bill tells us is we have allies. Representative Lupe Diaz is an ally. He is pro hunting. He wants to help us out in our prolonged fight against the anti-hunters. I plan on being there at the Capitol. Maybe Chris will come down. I don't think we need to turn out 60, 70 people down there, but I think a couple of us are just expressing our support for Representative Diaz for being in our court. I don't know where that bill goes. I don't know if it goes all the way to the governor's office, but if it does, it's dead. So I don't, I'm not expecting that thing to be signed into law.
But it's not going to hurt us. That's where we dissect this a little bit. Is
correct.
That bill not going through isn't going to destroy us. And it actually kind of, I would say, helps us a little bit, because then we know that they're probably going to come for the ballot initiative. We can prepare for that.
Yep. Yeah. And I think what we saw in Colorado, the Colorado playbook was there's 3 areas where we fight these guys. We fight them at the commission, we fight them at the legislature, and we fight them at the ballot. The playbook they ran in Colorado was start at the commission, then go to the legislature, and then go to the ballot. And so we're trying to work with Representative Diaz to make sure that we're using his bill to the best strategic advantage, so we don't give these guys a win and we don't inadvertently kick them up the ballot right away.
Well, here's a quick question for that. So if, let's just say for some reason it went through, and they can still do it a ballot initiative to kick that out?
Yeah, so let's go to a magic world where Katie Hobbs isn't the governor. You have a governor who is going to sign that bill. Diaz's bill goes in, signs into law. It's in state statute that the Game and Fish Commission can never make a rule prohibiting use of dogs in any kind of hunting. That does not protect us against the ballot. Any anti-hunting group, just like they did in Colorado, can run the ballot, use emotional-based arguments to try and sway the general public to modify the law. And so we don't get any protection by Diaz's bill going all the way through, even if it could go in.
Our protection right now is the commission either way, even up to that time.
Yeah, I mean, our protection right now is we have a fantastic commission, and we've had a fantastic commission for a long time. We've had a commission that is fully pro-hunting, that is in our corner. Our other protection is we can win at the ballot. It's expensive. Our voters in Colorado spent almost $3 million to defeat that thing. It's a lot of work. Ask Dan Gates, right? It can be done, and we're up for the fight. I think that's why we exist, is to have and win those fights. But yeah, I'd rather snuff it out earlier. And the other thing, this is a national campaign, right? These aren't local Arizonans trying to come after it. This is tens, hundreds of millions of dollars by the Humane Society of the United States and other groups who want to outlaw hunting. They're going after the lowest hanging fruit. If we can frustrate their efforts at the legislature, if we can frustrate their efforts at the commission, they're going to go elsewhere. That's not good for, no offense to our out-of-state friends here, but part of it is we got our shit together too much. Go mess around in California or Washington or somewhere else. So it's kind of all over the place, Chris. So that's sort of where we are, right? But we're at a fight in the commission right now. That's at a pause, waiting for CBD to sort of play the next card of that next petition, and then we'll engage in that in the spring. We're in the middle of that fight at the legislature. I've talked with Representative Diaz. He knows who we are. He knows that we have his back. I think a couple of us will go down there on Monday and really convince that, right? We hear you, we see you, we know you have our back, and let's whatever happens to your bill, we fully appreciate that. And Chris, we talked about turning out, just almost thank yous from some of your guys, even if it's just email of like, hey, we see you, we appreciate it. The petition's not a one and done. This bill's not a one and done. This is a long, persistent fight, and so we'll say, we know where our supporters are, where our friends are.
Well, when we're talking about bills,
yep.
I mean, what's a bill that we could put in there that we'd have to put in there to be safe from a ballot initiative, besides the Proposition 134 that should have passed?
Yeah, that would have been money.
134 was probably our best one. We've also tried to do so in this last round. Prop 134, as Chris pointed out, was a bill that would give rural Arizona more voice, to break the Maricopa monopoly, where you could, just like we saw Denver and Boulder can carry stupid stuff into Colorado, Maricopa County can carry stupid stuff into Arizona. Prop 134 would have changed that and required more signatures spread throughout the state. 2 cycles ago, we had an effort to try and raise the threshold to amend the Constitution. In some states, you need just a bare majority of a ballot initiative to get something into law, but you need a 60 or 60% of the vote in the Constitution. We don't have that in there like we do in some. So we tried to get that on the ballot 4 years ago, and that failed. So long answer, Chris, I don't think there's anything we can do. Anything that we could do in statute or in the Constitution could be undone at the ballot unless we get some of those like 134 stuff.
Yep. So there you have it. It's not a bad bill. It's not a good bill. I mean, it wouldn't hurt us, but it ain't going to not hurt us.
No, it's a fantastic bill. It will never become law, right? So I just don't want to. We want to make sure that we're being realistic on expectations. If I was in a world where you could snap your fingers and make it law, well, I'd love that world. But yeah, sure, we'd put that thing on the books. Just we're not there right now.
Good deal.
So
basically,
is we can still come and say, look, we have guys in our corner, even if Katie Hobbs will never sign it.
So we need to give old Lupe Diaz a little email saying, hey, guy, we know you're on our side. We appreciate your work. Anything we need to do, let it, we're here for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Because if we do get into a ballot fight, there's two ways things on the ballot. You can go get a bunch of signatures, or you can get the legislature to send things to the ballot. A common tactic when you have ballot fights is to have competing things that sort of confuse people. We saw that this summer. So if the anti-hunters try and start to put stuff on the ballot in 2026, we may need people like Representative Griffin, Representative Diaz to help send a competing initiative from our side on there, right? So there is, we don't need that right now, but we certainly pays to have pro-hunting advocates down in the legislature.
Yep. Well, thank you, sir. We appreciate this update for sure. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet. Let's see a comment there from Wayne. I don't know.
I actually talked to Chris Powell about this today.
Yeah.
About a national, and he's talking about he was trying to start one, or they were trying to, and it's just we don't have the guys that are paying $1.3 million for a sheep tag behind us. Yeah. Unless you have 10 of those guys behind you that are willing to throw down $1 million, or if houndsmen would quit being cheap or every sportsman would throw in $10, we'd have $10 million. So you have, and I know the Sportsman's Alliance and the Safari Club International, they're starting to team up and throw these lawsuits out like the antis are. And that's where the antis control. They get 10 of those people together on a petition or on a lawsuit, and they just hammer these guys. They just take turns. It's like coming in and hitting you with a hammer like a gauntlet. You're not going to they don't get wore out of it, because out of the 10 or 15 people, they don't have to put in $10 million each. They have to put in $100,000 each. So
Wayne,
a national.
I see Wayne's comment that maybe there be a pro hunting organization, and it's easy to rally like HSUS does, Humane Society of the United States. That's it. That's the thing. We came together in Colorado, elk hunters, everyone, right? National groups, Protect. We were up there. Chris, you guys were raising money for that together. Yeah, I guess there's a national anti-hunting organization. There's not a pro-hunting.
Oh, yeah.
What motivates us is getting out with your hound, getting out chasing that elk. I'm going to try and go shoot a javelina this weekend, right? Like those are the things. And then we're not motivated pro-hunting. We're motivated for the method species we love to come together when it comes to these anti-hunting fights. But
and that's why we have Luke on tonight, because they just came together over there in Wyoming and shut it down before it got started, like Utah should. So it can happen. And the sad thing is that they always wait till the end. They don't play the offense. Everybody always says offense. But Luke actually played the offense pretty good on this one. It was kind of at the end. It was a defense-offense game.
I mean, to their credit, the national group, Dan Gates has reached out to us. We've been in contact with all the Colorado leaders on this thing. Howell's reaching out, SCI, Rocky Mountain Elk. I mean, they're all reaching out to us based off that petition last month. So, I mean, no one's giving us money, right? But there is national interest coming in to see how we're doing this and how we can how it can help us in our fight.
Yeah.
So I think that's my update, Chris. I don't have any other questions or anything.
Good deal. No, you said you wanted your 10 minutes of fame for, well, I said you need your 10 minutes of fame to let us know kind of what's going on with that bill, and that everybody shouldn't be butthurt when
No,
it gets
I
pushed.
think so,
And
right? Like,
we're literally saying it's going to get pushed out, and if it gets
100%,
pushed
right.
in, we're already protected pretty much with who we have in charge of our commission.
Yeah.
So, but if it does get pushed out, and like we've talked before, if it gets pushed in, that's just something that them anti-hunters will rally against, saying, "Oh my God, they just did this."
I think Katie Hobbs would relish voting that, vetoing that, and I think that the anti-hunters would rally around that, right? If in some ways, this bill could hand her a win, right? Here's the thing: you go do your, liberal dog hugging people and go raise money off of that because you vetoed this bill. In some ways, I think she kind of wants that, right? That helps rally her base for her election here in 2 years. So that's the more good stuff, how things work down at the state house. But I'm Chris, I'm sure I'll see you down there on Monday. And like I said, I promised you some sort of messaging points and some points we could use if we want to reach out with a thank you to Representative Diaz.
I'll just put something in my ear. You just tell me what to say when I'm up there. Maybe I'm not that good.
We'll work it out.
Well, we appreciate you coming on, Chuck.
It's like, hey, I'm like Chuck with the beer, ditto.
Appreciate you coming on and letting us know.
Absolutely. Good to see y'all.
All righty. Thank you, Chuck.
Bye-bye.
So, Chris, you can get, Kamala's not using hers anymore. You can write to Kamala, see if you can get her earplugs.
Kamala had a hand up her ass, and they were doing this. I don't know if I can handle that. I think Brett bailed on us because we was talking politics. I told him it was only going to be for a little bit. Just some
maybe
updates.
He'll come back.
Maybe
he'll come back. Yeah.
So now, and that's a good segue when he was talking about working together right to Luke. Right, Luke?
Yeah. Wyoming sportsmen really showed up and kicked the legislators in the teeth this week. It was it was a big win. It was everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I got my hand shook by anti-hunters because for once we were on the same side. You don't see that. When the anti-hunters and the hunters are in the same room fighting and saying the same message, there's some bad legislation going on.
Yep.
But no, it was a big win. We actually got our grizzly bear prohibition, management prohibition taken away. That was tabled. That was that House Bill 180. No, that was Senate File 107. They were trying to take all the management away from the Game and Fish on controlling grizzly bears. Stop all data, all research, no conflicts, nothing. And what our legislation is doing is trying to strip our power from our game and fish. So it was a pretty easy win because sportsmen aren't going to allow that. We got that one tabled in the morning, and then we went on to the mountain lion bill, House Bill 286. It was a disaster for the sponsors of the bill. They just got hammered. They went up there with these droopy stories, said there's a houndsman in the room that's going to come up and say we have no lions. This is a mule deer bill, and now they brought in the Mule Deer Foundation, and they testified opposed of it. They're like, this is mismanagement of wildlife. There's more to our mule deer problem than mountain lions. He threw a number out there that's not true. The state of Wyoming does a mortality equation to manage mountain lions in Wyoming. We don't have a number. We have an estimate, but it's about 2,500 lions, if that, 2,000 and 2,500. They said there was 5,000, and they're killing 80 deer a year. Each one of them is. We have a mule deer population of 293,000. Well, if you add that up, that's 400,000 deer lions are eating. So,
and you made a good point. You made a good point as a houndsman. Why aren't we running off these 4,000 kills?
Well, that's what I told a lot of them on the phone. Is I said, I know. I said, there's no denying it that lions eat deer. They eat meat. That's all a lion eats is meat. They don't eat grass or nothing. And I said, but I can guarantee you, let me get my dog get comfortable here for a sec. There we go. You know, and I said, they're not killing as much as you think. And I said, you can ask the guys that have trailed one for a week. You're not coming upon kill after kill after kill. It just doesn't happen. Yeah, we do find kills, but that's beside the fact. Their numbers are messed up and whatever. Our biggest deal wasn't the predator issue, really. This was about stripping game and fish's management away to do science-based wildlife management. That's what they're doing. They tried to do it with the grizzly, the black bears, and the lions. We got it all killed yesterday. We killed 3 bills yesterday. One on the House floor that made it through committee, and then these 2 died in commission. One was tabled, and this one was died on lack of motion. So they didn't even want to discuss it. As soon as we had 42 people sitting in the backstage room ready to online testify on this, and they let the associations go first, which was really good. We had a lot of backing from Wyoming Wildlife, the TRCP, which is a Theodore Roosevelt Conservation Partnership, Mule Deer Fanatics, which when they testify against killing lions, that's a huge win. You know, they know the houndsmen are the one that are killing the lions. 98% of our state's harvest is with hounds. That's 98% is done with hounds. So they know that we're out there doing it, and there is areas where I think we need to fix some quotas. I know there's some spots in the state of Wyoming that are very light and heavy, but we don't fill quotas. You know, there's no access. There's some areas that are closed to human presence. You know. But anyways, no, it was great to see all the sportsmen come in and get this stuff done, and it took everybody. Everybody did a great job writing emails to the representatives, especially the committees. They were devastated with how many emails they got, which was fantastic. And that's really what it takes, man. It takes people to participate, you know. Participation wins. You can't win a football game with 2 guys on the field. So it was huge. It was awesome to see Wyoming still that united in the sportsman group.
Hey, out of all of the lion talk, did anybody bring up the fact that you lost 80% of deer, or it could be just the deer population's low? Maybe we should cut tags on deer. Did anybody?
Yeah, you can actually watch this whole thing. Hold on. Get down. You get out of here. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, we had game and fish there. They don't testify, but they put facts out. They can kind of stand their ground and tell it how it is. And yeah, we all know the mule deer, they're struggling. There's no doubt about it. I see it. Mm-hmm. I live on a big ranch, man, and we don't have any deer left. It's habitat, it's drought, it's bad winters, it's everything. There's some predation, there's some vehicles, it's, you know, and I also kind of jump people's cases because they're blaming the coyotes, you know, and I said, if you have the right to blame a coyote, you can blame a lion. I was like, predation is in one part of it, you know, and I said, that includes the coyotes, badgers, bobcats. You know, badgers kill fawns. You know, everything kills baby deer.
God, I just seen a video, something of maybe a ferret or no, something else that actually killed a deer.
Probably a pine marten or a mink.
Might have. I think it was something like that.
Yeah, you go, them pine marten, man, they might weigh a pound or 2, but I'll tell you what, they're ornery. They can pack a punch.
Yeah, I seen it was some small mammal that had took a deer down, you know. So, and you don't think, okay, coyotes, whatever, but every 5%, 2%, 1%, it all adds up in the end. You know, even if lions are 40% of the kills or whatever, you still got the other coyotes
our data,
that are maybe 5%.
Pardon me for interrupting you, but
no, go ahead.
Our data in Wyoming shows that lions, a bear is 4.7% a fawn loss. And that's with collaring 500 fawns. As soon as they hit the ground, we collared them. And it was like 4.7 or 5.7. I don't really remember. But it was low. That was bears killing fawns. And then lions, added the collared fawns, we had 500, and I want to say 34 of them were killed by lions. But that's also a fawn. I don't think lions are really hunting the fawns. I think they're going to snatch one up, but I think they're going after a meal. I don't think they're going after snacks very often. But our game and fish department does have data. They say a lion does eat an ungulate size animal per week or two. And we have studies where at a certain age they transfer over to elk. Our young cats are deer killers, especially females with kittens. And then as their age goes up and they're in an elk area, they usually switch over to elk and coyotes, believe it or not. At 4 or 5 years old, they start killing a lot more coyotes. That was pretty interesting. Yeah, all that stuff was brought up, but what really wasn't an argument there, because this wasn't an argument what lions do per se.
Yeah.
The sportsmen got pissed because they're pulling management away from the game of fish. And they were doing this on grizzly bears and black bears too. And I think when we filled we didn't fill the Capitol by no means, but there was a lot of sportsmen there, and they were upset. There wasn't a happy one. We didn't have one person testify in favor for this. There was supposed to be one guy, but when he found out there's 42 comments against it, he hung up.
Yep. So I think the groups coming in representing, I think that's a big ordeal. Not because those guys don't want to sit there for 5 hours listening to somebody say the same thing. Hey, we don't like it. Hey, we don't like it. Hey, we don't like it.
Well, on this bill, it's a mountain lion bill, right? There's not a houndsman in the world that's going to agree with this. Well, there is. There's hound guys that probably agreed with it, but the majority of them aren't going to agree with this bill. That's the last person that needs to testify on this. They know they piss the hound guys off. So that's kind of like, oh, yeah, we're going to hear from a bunch of hound guys. And even a representative said that. They said, you're going to have the hound guys come up here. He called me out. I've talked to him on the phone plenty of times. And he says, you're going to have a hound guy come up here and tell you we don't have a lion problem. And did I go up there and say we didn't have a lion problem? No, I hit it with policy. You're restricting the management away from the game and fish. And there's not a sportsman in this room that agree with that. Even the deer hunters, and Chris, you're starting an association now with the American Working Dog Alliance. I recommend getting affiliations, getting in with your bear hunters. Mm-hmm. American Bear Foundation. I don't know if you guys have a branch down there in that country, but they're nationwide. They're really good affiliate. They fight for hound rights for sure. Mule Deer Foundation, the Mule Deer Fanatics, not the foundation, the Fanatics. Just like that gentleman you had on here before, he was your guys' 501c4. I don't remember what his organization was called.
Conserve and Protect Arizona.
Yep. You got to have him in your pocket, because he's going to be the one lobbying, because you can't do it.
Yeah. As
a C3. And just get these groups, work with them, tell them, you're like, if the hound guy is kind of the special interest group in the department, really. If it says mountain lions, they should be calling a hound guy, right? And saying, what do you guys think about this? That's where I want to get with Wyoming and the game and fish department, is be like, when you get lion stuff, you should probably be talking to us, because we're their boots on the ground. We're not biologists, but we care about these animals more than anybody. Mm-hmm. We want to have tracks to run and stuff like that, but it's about affiliation too. Get in with other organizations like TRCP. They were awesome. They fought it. It's completely against science-based wildlife management, so they got your back.
Yep. Like Chuck said, we had a lot of people show up as well. We had the falconers. I got hold of the falconers, all the bird dog guys. Bird dog guys. I did get in with a lot of people. So that's my goal.
Wyoming was what I would see as an easier one to win because it was pushed by legislation getting the Department of our Game and Fish out of the picture. And no, there's not going to be many sportsmen for that period because it might start with lions and bears and grizzly bears, and then it's going to go to the wolves, and then it's going to go to the elk. Our elk population's out of control. And then it's going to go to deer, and then legislation is going to have full right over game and fish. And guess what? They're going to destroy our wildlife because they can't manage a checkbook, no less our wildlife.
Yep.
That's
fact.
Good deal. It was good. It was good to see a bunch of people. It was good, but like I said, it wasn't a hard win because it was completely against science-based wildlife management, and most people with a decent head on their shoulders are going to be against that, no matter where they come from. And like I said, we were shook hands with antis, straight up. And even they said there's not a, this is kind of different because we're on the sportsman side now. And they say they believe in conservation and responsible wildlife management, but on this deal, in their terms, and I do believe them. They have a passion. They have as much as voice as you and me. Look at the voice they had in Colorado. That's scary. You guys got to think about that too. It's coming around, and their voice needs to be heard also. Just it's as valuable as ours, but we're doing something for conservation, right? We're managing populations. We're keeping the herds healthy. We're keeping predators at a healthy base without wiping them out. So they see that too, but once again, I'm not gonna. You probably won't see the Wyoming Houndsman Association on a antis as an affiliate. We work together when it needs to work, but our opinions aren't the same, and you know how that is. I don't need to go into depth on that. Yeah. We all know how that works.
No, I think these last couple events is showing that the sportsmen are starting to come together, and they're seeing what can happen if you do work together. Is what it is.
And just like I told you the other day, we see, we're houndsmen. We're responsible for the management of the lions, right? That's our way of take. That's our management plan. Is the dog man are the ones to manage the mountain lions. And I've kind of always believed this to be true, but I think we can build a lot of animosity between the mule deer hunters and the elk hunters by going out and catching a bunch of lions, posting them on social media, and we have that hashtag tree and free. It's great to be a super selective hunting group. But these, when we're managing these animals and just like the mule deer guys they're really frustrated right now because our mule deer numbers are low, and they look at us and they go, this guy's posted 25 lions that he's caught, and he's treating free to every single one of them. He goes, where's the management and catching stuff for fun? I think I really do think that needs to be kept on a down low. And same with the kill shots. I don't like to see that. That's not the hunt. The hound guys are in it for the puppy raising, the dog work, the chase, the trees. It's the end of the hunt, man. It's anybody can shoot something out, and it's that kind of upsets me too. But same with the tree and free deal. That was brought to my attention. They're like, these hound guys, they're catching lions and they're just taking pictures and letting them go. And I was like, well, it's selective harvest. And I said, you don't go out, see the first mule deer buck you see of all the season, the first mule deer you see of the season, do you shoot it? Well, no, I'm hunting for a big one. I said, so are we. It's called selective harvest. And that's hard to get through people's head. Like, hey, we're just as selective as you guys, if not more. Just like me personally, I've never killed a mountain lion. And when I do, I'm probably going to post it. I'm going to probably put a grip and grin because it's going to be a freaking whopper. But I haven't found that big whopper yet, you know? But it's, you know, that's another thing to think about. And I really do want people to think about it. Like, we're out there to manage stuff and train and free and stuff is, yeah, it's fun and games. But when you're doing 30 of them a year and releasing all of them, it kind of puts it kind of breaks that unity between hunting groups too. Like, these guys are just doing this for fun. They're not out there to manage mountain lions. They're just having fun. That's something to think about.
I think this is the scales. This is where the scales get tipped so bad, because you don't want to put, oh, I killed 30 of them, because then you have the antis using that against you. You don't want
That's
to
right.
put, you don't want to put, I treat and freed 30 of them, because then you got the hunting group, the mule guys or the deer, the elk guys against you. So the best thing to do is just don't post nothing on, just don't post it. You don't have to post it. You don't have to put you killed it or let it go. You could just post a picture of it. Let's
take a picture of it.
Let's just cut down we're not saying don't post. The best thing to do is not post.
You know, without social media and without YouTube, you know, YouTube, whether people like it or not, it's social media.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's as much bad stuff on YouTube as there is on Facebook, probably more, because it's in the feed. It's a whole hunting deal. There's a lot of hound groups shooting bears, shooting lions, shooting bobcats, shooting hogs. And social media gets blamed for it, but I'll tell you what, we won this with social media. We got the word out through YouTube, through you guys, through W podcasts. I did Meat Eater this morning. I did Kel's Weekend Review this morning. You know, that's a big platform, and we got to use it. You know, it's just how you use it to make it beneficial to help us out. You know, just like TV shows, everybody's like, oh, these kill shots are bad. And I was like, you can go buy VHS tape still.
Oh, yeah. CD.
That is, that's killing a ton of lions. And it shows it. If they need the footage, they're going to get it. Yeah, that's an argument to be had. But it's 2025, man. We have antis trying to take hunting away from Arizona and Colorado, right?
Yep.
You know, let's not give them more stuff. If they want to get it off big stream TV, let them do that, but let's not be the ones responsible for it.
Yep.
Just like I told the guy, and I said, you know, I said, you don't want to carry that weight on your shoulder when the anti-sites like you sent me, Chris. Those are hound guys that have posted stuff on Facebook, and they completely took their videos from them and made an anti-propaganda page off of their videos.
Yeah.
You know, that's I don't want my name affiliated with and my clients, just like I guide clients, you don't see my guide pictures on there. I don't do it. I'm not going to put them in. It's none of my business. Even if they want it posted, I said, you do it. I'm not doing it. Keep me out of it.
Yep.
But it's you know, there's a lot there to think about. And you know, ours was not an anti-attack, it was a legislation attack, and it was a lot easier than an anti-attack, I can guarantee you that.
Yep.
Or a department attack. You know, Montana right now, they're trying to double their lion tags, and that's their department doing it. That's not legislation. Their department went to legislation. How are you going to fight that? I don't know, because if you back scientific wildlife management, they're the scientists pushing it. I probably wouldn't stand up there and fight against my game and fish. I would have a meeting with them and say, hey, what's going on? We're not filling quotas. We're not seeing the quality of cats. There is a group of mature lions that you need to take out. And I said, once you start attacking these scenes with multiple tags, you get all your mature cats off the landscape, and your population starts getting younger, and the young cats are always the ones getting in trouble.
Yep.
You know, so it's, you know, that fight's different. I've never been there. I've never had to fight our department on it. Thank goodness. I'm glad Wyoming has a great game and fish department still. And they listen to us, and they want all species in Wyoming, which is great.
Yep.
But how do you fight a department fight,
Very
When
carefully.
it has to be with internal meetings. I believe you can't go legislation and testify against your game and fish department, or it's hypocrisy, because you're being a hypocrite saying you believe in science-based wildlife management. They're the scientists pushing it, and then you're saying you're against it. So that's a little bit different. I don't know how to fight that one.
Yep. Well, it's going to be a task when it comes. I know you just have to be careful, but I think if people just pay attention, and if people keep sharing knowledge, I think we're good to go. And if we keep coming together, like you did in Wyoming, like they did in Colorado, even Arizona, like we did, I think if we keep this up and we keep everybody informed, I think we're good to go.
And I want to tell the association something that I think everybody knows this, but when you hear a rumor, just like I told you, Chris, it was before the first of the year. I called you and I think did I talk to you about this a long time ago?
Yeah, we've been talking about this.
And I said, "Hey man, I just heard a rumor of a predator bill." Mm-hmm. And then I didn't make a big deal of it. We worked behind the scenes with other people, and I went out to representatives and I said, "This is a rumor. I haven't seen a draft. I haven't heard of a bill." But I said, I've hearing a rumor from hound guys that they've been questioned about how do they feel about this. And I said, I want to bring it to your attention. This might be a bill. And boom, it was, what was it, 2 weeks ago, it became a bill.
Mm-hmm.
And what was nice about that is I don't think it's a bad thing to start acting on a rumor. And I've been told before, hey, hold out, let's wait for a bill. And I said, why? I said, let's bring it to their attention so people can start looking. And then maybe you can get a heads up on something when they're like, hey, I just saw a draft. Yep. They'll call you or email you and say, I just saw a draft for a bill. It's coming. And then you can build you can start building an army. And I think that's what we did right. And I learned this. I'm not taking the credit for none of this because I learned it because I've been watching Utah. Like Dustin. I think that's Dustin there. I'm on a cell phone.
Yeah.
That Utah thing, I watched that really close and they kind of bombarded you guys. Nobody was ready for it.
Yeah.
They snuck that in. Didn't they sneak that in on a grant?
Yep.
Money.
And that's one of them deals where once that happened in Utah and then Colorado had a fight, you better start paying attention. And that's where we were like, hey, we got to start watching stuff. And if I hear a rumor, we need to react on it. You need to be proactive and you need to be proactive instead of reactive. So I think that helped. Actually, I hate to say this on a big platform, but I think Utah's taught me a lot. Corey Huntsman, that guy, I've talked to him and he's like, get prepared. He goes, if you hear a rumor, it's probably true.
Yep.
So why not react on that? Why not spread the word and be a little bit proactive instead of reactive, So what
Definitely.
it's, all this stuff and everybody else, I think they should be watching these states like, hey, what just happened in Wyoming through legislation? It's probably time to start paying attention to legislation, and I'm guilty of it as anybody else. I didn't ever pay attention to it. Even with our other federation, we had a federation in Wyoming before us, and I really didn't support them. Should I have? Absolutely. This was a long time ago, and I was still pretty young and stuff, but I did tell that guy, I said, he told me, he goes, take the reins, and I said, I'm not ready for him yet, but I said, I'll get him. And I said, but I want to build a plan. I want to start paying attention. I did. I started paying attention to what was going on in legislation and what was going on in the department and started getting involved. And when you get involved, it completely changes your opinion on everything. It's definitely going to change my opinion on who's getting voted in. And I told people before, I said, Wyoming bleeds red, and it's really red, and it's to the part where it might be radical. And there needs to be a middle ground. And I said, there's some legislators out there that are Democrats, and they're not liberals. They're not radicals. I said, they're the real Democrat. And I said, you need them. You need to have them in there, because that's your middle ground for a debate. When everybody's so radical one way or the other, it's going to be a radical change, right? You got to have those people in the middle, even if you're in a red state and there's somebody that's blue or whatever you believe in, but you look at how they vote, you look at how they react to wildlife, just like Ryan Callahan with Meat Eater. He's been pushing that statement forever, and he kind of opened my eyes, and I was like, you know what? There's some Democrats that they need a place in that House. They need a place in the Senate, because that's the middle ground. We have to be able to have that argument. We need to see both sides of it. Are our Democrats anti-hunters? Absolutely not. And there's a big difference. But you look at the wildlife standpoint, and a lot of those people have great habitat ideas, great wildlife management skills, and then the radicals are the opposite, right? So there is a middle ground there, and I think that's how most people should be voting, is looking on your special interests. The economy deal is always going to be a fight, no matter where it comes from. But wildlife, the red side is pro-gun, all that stuff. We know all this stuff, but there needs to be a middle ground there too. And I don't think it's very bad to be voting for the other side if they're there to help what you believe in.
Nope. Well, shoot, we appreciated you going over there and kind of rallying up, getting everybody together and getting that taken care of, because the antis were using that honestly against everybody. They were using Utah, Montana, and Wyoming.
Absolutely.
Against Arizona, New Mexico, Nevada. So we definitely appreciate you doing that. A lot of people need to learn how to do that, or join the group to do that. Like you said, you went up there, they know who you are, and that stands for, a group is, to me, stands for bigger than 100 people showing up. Because I said, they don't, like what we did in December, we had 60 people there. It took them 2-3 hours. That's to say, hey, we mean business. From now on, we could probably cut it down a little bit, because like you said, like I've said, they don't want to hear the same thing over and over again. So,
and that's another thing about testifying is, you kind of got to be, what I've learned is that you don't want to repeat the same thing, even if you kind of babble and get lost. Like, I'm not a very good speaker. It's hard. There's some intimidation, but I feel I don't get intimidated by them. I don't get nervous. My biggest thing is that I lose my train of thought, because it's already been mentioned. What I planned on going up there and speaking about, 35 people have already said. So you kind of got to wing it. And that's where I struggle. It's very hard to go up there and wing something.
I tried at the last commission meeting. I said, you know what? I'm just going to go up there and tell them. And you walk up there and you're like, oh,
yeah. It is tough, and it's tough. But what's great about being in the Capitol, when you can go down there and you're walking around for a day and a half or 2 days. And I try to testify on as many things as possible. Even though it wasn't hound deals, like I've testified for the black bear coupons, the prohibition of management from the Game and Fish on the grizzly bears. Go up there and testify, and you don't. And I go up there and I say, that I'm a Houndsman Association. I'm speaking for houndsmen, but guess what? Houndsmen aren't just lion and bobcat hunters. We hunt bears, we hunt mule deer, we hunt elk, and we believe in science-based wildlife management, and that goes a long ways. You're like, hey man, these sportsmen are, they're packing up. They're talking, and they're coming in a force instead of one voice. You know, like you can have one organization like Wyoming Wildlife. They speak for the sportsmen in Wyoming. That's 300,000 voices right there from that one association. But when you have 10 different entities going in there and all talking from different chapters of life, different species of game that they focus on, it opens their eyes. We're like, holy cow, sportsmen are pissed. It's just not the lion guys or the bear guys or the
It's everybody.
It's everybody. And I think we made that present, and that's the biggest win we got out of it was everybody got together. We all got to talk. We had a game plan. And you know what? That shows bad legislation. When they see that stuff, they're like, we're putting a bill on the floor right now that passed committee, and there's 42 different organizations down there pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
So we should probably drop this bill right now. You know, the people have spoken.
It worked. It worked.
It did, and it was stressful, but right on. Thanks for letting me come on, Chris.
Hey, good job. Yeah, we want to give away a Garmin now. We're done with politics. Gosh, it gets politics. It has to be done, and it has to be told, and the stories have to go out. It just wears you out. It wears you out. It's horrible because we just want to go hunt. You know, we want to tell stories about dogs. We don't want to sit around and talk about HB 2552 or, you know, we don't want to do that. And it's horrible. Like, it just takes so much time out of us.
Well, you know what, Chris? It's just like I had a guy who's been like, "You've been hunting lately?" And I said, "No." This is prime time for bobcat running. You know, your Tom's. It's a bobcat rut. You know, it's the best time of year. And I said, I haven't. Yep. I said I did go out this weekend and never found a freaking track, but went out, casted some dogs, and still all I'm thinking about is what's going on in the legislation. And when it's over, I text a friend of mine that's also down there working, and I said, you know what's weird is that I feel a lot lighter today. And I said it's kind of been like you can finally breathe and you're kind of floating.
Time to go hunting.
Yeah, and I wasn't on the phone all day, which was freaking fan. And I like to talk, but it's a big relief. And it's not over. You know, it's gonna
you need to
come
start
back.
your own podcast and just go.
What? I don't know if I really don't know if people want to hear me just sit there telling lies all day.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you coming on and letting us know what's going on for sure.
Hey, you bet. You might want to wake old Benny up. He looks like he's asleep back there.
Yeah,
that's about normal.
Well, thank you guys. You guys have a good one. Thanks for all your guys' support. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.
Yep. See you guys.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, can we talk shit now? What's up?
Yeah. Let me address this comment real quick. Utah is probably not going to ever go back to a draw, at least not right away. There are things in the works, and I'm not going to say more than that because I don't want anybody to know what's coming, but it's going to have to reverse it slow. They're going to have to go back to just a straight tag over the counter, then maybe harvest objective and draw a long time after that if it ever comes, but it's going to be a slow process. But I do know there is stuff in the works to try and get some of that bill reversed. So that's all I can say.
You said it well. Oh, you awake, Benny? Are we done with the politics? That was supposed to be 30 minutes.
I'm awake. I've been involved in our legislature stuff just a little bit too, and I don't like it, but I got to do it.
Oh God! Because you got New Mexico over there trying to quadruple the prices. SB5.
Well,
trying to.
Yeah, and that 5 is it's HB5. It's House bill. Their intent is to change the name of the Game and Fish to the Game and Wildlife, and that would encompass so much more than just game related stuff. Then they're going to be responsible for wolves and bears and, anything they want to introduce. And then they got to worry about the dove, the Eurasian ringneck dove that's invasive. There's just so much more to it. And part of that, they want to completely restructure the game commission. And then that would further damper the Game and Fish's role in things. And the biggest thing is there's what nobody wants to bring up or talk about is the Pittman Robertson money. In New Mexico, there's $40 million in the Game and Fish's coffers that's strictly Pittman Robertson money. And if you take that Pittman Robertson money out of the equation, you take the sportsmen out of the equation as well.
Yeah, then you make it an organization to support the wants of the bird watchers and the backpackers more than those of us that are putting money into it.
And so you take that money from the Pittman Robertson Act that comes from the sale of hunting and fishing licenses and anything having to do with hunting and fishing, and now you got to go out and build all these places for a Tweety bird to nest, and who gives a rip,
Yeah. Oh, I can't do it. And I just leave us alone. Go do their Pilates and their.
Well, but that's what they're counting on, Brett. I'm sorry, Chris. That's what they're counting on, Chris, is everybody gets tired and they want to wear us down. And, all they got to do is just keep hammering and hammering because they put ads on TV that are, which one is it? It's not, I don't think it's a Humane Society. One of these deals, there's ads all the time about these poor dogs, and they're obviously in a wire kennel. So they're in a vet's office, more than likely, and they're talking about these poor little dogs that are being abused. And I just want to shoot my damn television.
Yeah.
Who's in the bedroom?
No, they'll nonstop do it. And I think I honestly think we need to put out our own videos. I'm trying to put one together to where I take all the attacks on people, dogs, and put that together and put out some sort of video that says, hey, look at all this when you don't manage. This is what really happens. And there's a lot of videos out there of attacks or lions coming up to the window or tearing up dogs. Oh, yeah. I think we need to fight propaganda with propaganda.
There's also people killing hounds. Because they don't.
I seen that.
So why don't we get some of these PETA and pendejos to, hey, every dog deserves to live.
They're not like that. They think that hound needs to die.
Well, you got to look. The Humane Society of the United States kills more dogs than parvo.
Oh, that's a fact.
Do.
Look at all the I'm in with the working dog community quite a bit, like protection dogs and sport dogs. They kill something like 300, 200 and some odd, like Malinois and Shepherds a day in California, just in their shelters. They've got hundreds of them every day. They're like, oh, last day, and then they're gone.
Yep.
I think the other side, the anti-side, or the people who value an animal's life higher than a human life, I think there's a problem with that.
You know what's interesting with that, Chris? They don't give their own life to save those animals. So it's a double standard. It's a lie. It's a forked tongue.
Yep. Well, it's just like all the bear huggers that we dealt with up north. It's always groups from like Miami going to tell us we can't shoot brown bear that are in our front yard. You know what I mean? It's never the people that live with these creatures or deal with these animals on a daily basis. It's not their sheep getting ate or their dogs getting pulled out of the backyard. It's somebody they heard of somewhere down the road, whatever. They're so far removed from the actual issue. And I wish there was a way to keep outside money and influence from putting stuff like on our ballots. Like groups from New York shouldn't be able to put things on our ballot. They shouldn't be able to work for it, I think.
Nope. But they do, and they will, and they keep it up, and they make more money than we do. I know. I've been trying to raise
like
money.
Colorado, Colorado paid that lady to, or what is it? Cats aren't trophies. Paid that lady to move to Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then she's a resident.
I mean, the Humane Society of the United States is paying their top guy $600,000 a year or whatever it is.
Crazy.
The peons are making $100,000 a year. I could run AWDA for $100,000 a year and give them about 80 times more work than they do.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Absolutely.
But they have the money. They have the resources. We don't. You know, we've raised almost $8,000 in 4 weeks. But what is $8,000? It ain't nothing.
Drop in the bucket.
Nothing. This is why we have to do raffles. No, that's
that
barely
won't even,
gas money.
That won't even buy you a bucket.
No. So I think these sportsmen need to understand. You gotta put out that money like they do. You know, when I see $1.3 million for a sheep tag, and there was 3 bids at 1.2.
There was 3 bidders going in, and 2 of them backed out when it hit just a touch over 1.2.
And you know what the guy did? He got on a podcast and said, "I hope that lion's alive. I hope a lion or that ram's alive. I hope a lion don't eat him before now and then."
Yep.
Shouldn't you be donating to that local New Mexico Houndsman Association and finding out who the good lion guys are to go over there and run some lions maybe in that unit?
Well, I always make fun of, like, you know, these states. They'll spend $2 million or something relocating these desert bighorns, but they won't pay a lion hunter $40,000 a year to fucking kill the lions. You know, they just
California, they will.
They expect these lion hunters just to go do it because there's sheep there, so there's lions there. Well, where sheep live, lion hunting sucks. There's never, it doesn't snow there. There's hardly any water, and there's not a tree to catch a lion in. So you're going to catch them on a bluff.
And you have to cross a big ass canyon to get to them.
Yeah, and it's a rocky shithole. A lot of guys don't want to go there. It's all,
You're telling me that guy who paid $1.3 million can't pay a guy $100,000 to take his dogs into that area and keep them lions out of it till August,
right? I'll get my New Mexico. I'll get a non-resident hunting license and a couple tags and go over there for $100,000.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Anyway, Jared, what have you been doing? You were hunting yesterday.
What was that?
You were hunting yesterday. What happened?
Oh, we lucked out and didn't luck out to what happened. We hit this tom track at 8 a.m. Dog started trailing real good, and you see him going into a rock cropping, and you're like, we're gonna catch him in there, and we're hurrying up, try to get there. The dogs have him caught in a hole. We're 200 yards from the dogs. Can't hear them barking. They're all marking treed. Been marking treed for about 15, 20 minutes. And when you can't hear them barking at 200 yards, you're like, shit, this is gonna get Western. And then I'm yelling at the guy to hurry up, and we got to get going, and kind of walking away from him a little bit. And we get closer, and all of a sudden I can hear the dogs barking, and we get up there, and they're against this rock wall barking, running back and forth. And then finally, my Squeaks dog and my Charlie dog jump on this little rock ledge on the wall and start barking. I get up there, throw them up on top of the rock wall, and they take off like a streak of shit. And we didn't get them. By the time I got all the dogs up to where they needed to go, that lion's already been gone for about 15, 20 minutes. So then they trailed good. They did good. They picked their head up and took it. But I had the dogs 300-400 yards in front of me, trailing like they were leaving. And then I had my hunters 600 yards behind me, sucking wind. So it was just one of them. And the wind was blowing, but I pulled the dogs off about 2-3 o'clock, and the wind's blowing about 20 miles an hour sustained and 30-mile-an-hour gusts. And it just wasn't adding up like I'm going to catch it. So I pulled dogs off, got the hunter, went back and got the hunter and went down, started trailing, actually got lucky and got on a little female, didn't catch her and went home, but got to the truck at dark and went home with the tails between our legs.
That's still
But it was
better.
funny.
Still better than being home.
Yeah, the hunters all do like, he's all, do you think we caught the lion? They had him in that hole. And I'm like, I don't know. You should ask those two dogs with their faces are covered in blood. You should probably ask one of them.
Well, Dustin, I think we should give away that Garmin before everybody goes to sleep.
You want to give that away? Do it.
Yeah, I think we should give that away. Let me go. Let me share my screen. Look at Jared crossing his fingers. Jared's going to want to put in on this. Jared's going to want to put in on some other stuff. We got some other stuff to talk about after this. Let me share my screen. Let me share my screen, and I'll go to my little thing. Where are you? Oh,
you got one of those raffle cages?
No. What's funny is my dad actually just bought one. Where's my? I'm looking for my.
That's what we need, like the old lottery cage where it spins and you reach in, drops out a random ball with a number on it.
Chrome tab, speed tab.
It'd be faster than waiting on Chris.
Well, it's not popping up on the screen. Let me see here. Hang on. Well, I think it's because it's not big. Let me see if it pops in now. Cancel. Trying here. Oh, screen sharing. Cancel. Okay, let me find my screen again. I have it set it on a different window, but it wouldn't show. There it goes. Okay.
The miracle of technology.
There it is.
I don't see anything.
Yeah.
No.
There's some people that got a few entries in there.
Yeah, we can't see nothing.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
It says it's sharing. You don't see it?
If you don't,
gotta be
no,
kidding
if
me.
you don't share it, people are going to think it's rigged when I win.
Yeah. There it is.
There it is.
Hang on. You see it now?
Yeah.
I think we just froze up because I have two windows open.
Oh.
You ready? I'm kind of nervous.
Sweat.
Right. You guys ready? Can you see it?
Yeah. Let her go.
Sweating. Here we go. It's going. It's going. Oh. Barely caught it too. Charles Bachman. I think he's out of California.
Right on.
Winner.
Man, he joined the last part of it.
Sweet.
I think we should give away some other stuff while I got the wheel up. Like a hat.
Yeah.
Because we got our hats, right, Dustin?
They're coming.
Like we got hats, we got hoodies.
Yeah, we got hats and hoodies. The samples will be here shortly. And so
Want to give away like
once I make sure
hoodie and a hat?
you can do whatever you want. Just make sure.
When they I don't got it. I showed him the other night.
I just need Charles's info after we're done so I can get a hold of him and I'll get that sent out to him.
Okay. And if you don't want it, let me see. Because I had a guy in here and he had like 70 entries. Let's do one for a hoodie. You want to do one for a hoodie when they get ready?
Yeah.
All right. I just want to spin the wheel. So an AWDA hoodie. Oh, our boy. That's our Kentucky boy who brings the good stuff. I don't know if he's on. We'll give him a hoodie.
Don't they have to be present to win?
Okay, so that's for the hoodie. And let's do a hat. Do a hat?
Sure.
Oh, is that Jeremiah? Oh, it was almost your buddy there. It was almost your buddy. This guy joined right at the end too. Amen. That's for a hat. All right.
Okay.
Sweet.
There you go. That was kind of fun. Let me get out of here now. Have you guys, why don't you were talking about that, the Alpha XL. You guys hear about the Alpha XL? Anybody? Anybody on here?
Yet?
Nah.
Cool deal.
I'm surprised
Rick,
Jared doesn't have one.
I have an Alpha 10.
Rick. He does. He has an Alpha 10. I thought you were getting a. I thought you got a 200.
You got a
Or you were gonna
300.
get something.
I was gonna get a 300, and then
You don't know how to
I
use
didn't.
it.
I
No.
don't know how to use it either. Yeah, I was gonna get a couple new collars.
You know what the Alpha XL is?
A 300, and I just didn't. I swear to God, if it's one of those COVID pictures, I'm gonna be pissed.
What?
An Alpha
Oh
XL?
no.
No.
Or a
If
picture
you're gonna
of
send
Cody's
me one
arm.
of those, like this is a new Alpha XL, and
No, he's
turns
talking
out to be a
about-
COVID picture.
No. So the Alpha XL.
No, the
is
Garmin
have
XL
you-
is a or Alpha XL. Tell them what it is, Dustin.
Have you seen the drive tracks and that, like the Garmin drive track or tread? Do you know what those are? So this
Yep.
is like that, but it works like a handheld. You can track with it and train with it, but it's a screen that stays in the truck. So your handheld doesn't have to be next to it to track the dogs, if that makes
Oh,
sense.
right on.
So
Yeah.
it works like a Garmin Alpha, but it's meant just to sit in the truck. You hook a long range antenna to it. You can tone dogs from it, maps, track them all off
Sweet.
of that unit. They're
Heck yeah.
nice. They are
Real nice.
I mean, they're
No,
not
that's awesome.
they're not cheap. They're gonna run you $1,200.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Do
they
they-
just barely
Have they
came out with
got
them.
have they got a prototype to hook onto the saddle horn?
No,
Yeah,
Brett
Benny.
will make one.
I'll bet
just
we
need
could
to-
rig
you
rig
just need
something
to
up
get
from
one
the
of those-
kennel.
Yeah. You just need to get one of those Mexican saddles with the giant pie plate
The
for
big
a horn.
dinner plate.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's got a workspace right there on the front.
Yeah, we could just suction cup it right to that big old Mexican saddle horn.
I think we should raffle one of those off.
There you go.
I think
How do you raffle one? Huh?
there's somebody asking questions, that Tim B. So it doesn't have to link to a 300 IDA track. It tracks all by itself. But
it's
you
its
can,
own.
independent unit.
yeah, but you can track your other handhelds on it. So you can pick up if I'm in the truck and Jared's out hiking with the dogs, I can track Jared too. But I don't have to have a regular Alpha in the truck with me. The Alpha XL does it all by itself, if that makes sense.
Sweet.
Right on.
So yeah, it's pretty
Yeah,
much
it's its own unit.
it's a huge handheld unit that stays in the truck. You don't have to connect it to another handheld to be able to track or train. It does it all by itself.
Sweet.
How much you guys pay for? How much would you guys pay for a ticket for that
$30.
raffle ticket? Who said 30
I
bucks?
did.
$5.
Oh,
I'll tell you what, Chris, I have one ordered that's on the way. If you want to raffle it, we'll figure it out.
ooh. Doesn't that Buck
Finance.
Assassin guy? Didn't he raffle one?
What is it?
Yeah, he's raffled
Couple
a
of
few
them?
on Facebook.
How much were his tickets?
Put it,
50 bucks?
40
40 bucks?
I think 40
It's
or
like an
50
indep-
bucks is what they were raffling them for.
Why would you
Anybody on here want to put in on a raffle?
I'll put in on a raffle for that thing.
I'll put in
I
on
mean,
a raffle for that. Yeah.
All of a sudden, these houndsmen ain't broke no more, are they?
Yeah, no shit.
I'm gonna be broke.
Never are
And
when
we-
it comes to that.
Yeah, I'm gonna be broke. But
I'll send more money. I will. There's two.
yeah,
How many spots can we do for $50?
To make it fair, let me pull out my calculator here.
I just put it wide
Now,
open.
if we had some big time guys right now, I would do 4 spots for 500. That's a good deal.
There you go, Jared.
Yeah, you bet.
That's 1 out of 4 chance right now. Boom. Okay,
Yeah,
eight spots for
Eight?
$250.
There we go. Now we're talking.
That would be a good deal. We could, if we had 8 people
That's
do
pretty good odds.
$250. We could. That's 8. 1 out of 8. And any money left over is going to the good cause, anyways. So you can be able to use it tomorrow.
We got some
That'd be a
puppies
good
to Raffle off.
No,
I might have
they're
to
all
put in
sticky
on that
still.
one. $250 for a $1,200. That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Or you could do 20 spots at $100.
$100?
But you're
20
getting rid of
20
your
spots.
odds.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How many can we buy?
As many as you
You
want.
buy as many as you want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could buy all 20 spots if you feel like it.
And these
Now,
are
look.
hard to get,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
these aren't on the shelves right now. You
Not
have
a
to get them
ton.
coming.
No,
Lucky
like-
you already have them coming.
I do.
No, I'm saying like if you raffle it. Like,
Oh, gotcha.
I like the way Jared's wife thinks.
I do too. She needs to call me. I need to talk to her some more.
Yeah.
I know, she's like-
just go for it.
I charge by the hour.
Yeah.
Well, so do I.
Oh, dang. There we go.
Oh man. Yeah.
I don't know.
I need
What
to
do you
drop
think?
my wife off and talk to her for a while.
I'd say if you did
My wife's great with math, as you can
30,
tell.
30 spots at $50 a piece, you'll make out okay on that.
Girl math with just spending money.
No.
You hear that, Jared? She's still
What?
trying to buy. She's trying to do the $100.
Yeah.
Red Nose says just do unlimited for $20. What do you guys think? They're saying
I don't
exactly.
know.
I can run down to the store and get it.
I think
$50,
if you
$100.
if you
50
do
bucks or 100.
yeah, if you do it unlimited though, you don't. When do you stop? Because you got to make sure you cover it, and I think if you
Yeah.
cap it, boom. I mean, yeah,
Limited entry. I like that.
yeah, yeah. I like the idea of a cap, just as then you know when to quit instead of dragging it on forever.
40 spots, $50. That's Robert Chase. He knows about that stuff.
He's good with math.
Do it right there. 40 spots at $50.
$40, $50.
I'm
And
in.
you
I'll
can
buy
go-
a spot.
Yeah, I'll buy a spot.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
And so what I'll do, well, you can, if you just go to the donate page, go to any of those, and you just make sure you put on there.
Just can you put your
Raffle.
Venmo? Put the Venmo at the bottom of the screen.
I ain't got that.
God.
Well, I
most
got all
people do,
3.
but
Let me see.
that are in the chat, Chris.
I
you can put it
get
in the
I
chat.
get more PayPal than Venmo.
Yeah. Either way, I mean, spots. People, everyone that's on here is hearing about it first.
Let me
If we
look, let me
don't,
look.
if we don't fill it all the way up on this live, we'll open it up to everything
Yeah.
else. I'll put it on TikTok, and it will. If I put it on TikTok, it's going to fill. So if
Mhm.
that's my one thing.
You
I'll
could go to
say.
AZWDA. Yeah. You can go to AZWDA right now.com. Go to the donate page, membership page. It's a fundraiser. Why limit it to 40 spots?
So that you can call it.
Yeah, you got to be able to
It's
call
over
it.
with. You got to be able to cover the
Yeah.
expense of your giveaway, and you got to know what the date is that you're going to be done with it.
Yeah, I mean, if
And-
this
and
one
you say,
I'll be
fails,
honest. If I get 40 spots tonight, we'll get another one and we'll do another one.
yeah,
And maybe we'll do an unlimited and see how. To me, 40 spots, 1 in 40 chance, and if you want to buy in, 2-3 spots.
I'd rather.
So put in the comments. Go to azwda.com. Go to I have all the Venmo and stuff on there. So in the comments, when you leave me the Venmo, just put in there Alpha XL, and I'll put you in the drawing.
I'm just gonna Venmo you back the money you Venmo me this morning.
God damn it. So go to azwda.com, go to the donation page. In the comments, put your, if we get a ridiculous amount, if it starts overflowing, then we'll call it on the 40 and we'll go to another one.
I'll do another one.
There you go.
Just so everybody knows, though, I do not have this in my hand. So it might be a minute, but I will get your info and I will make sure you get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have to get these ordered in, and there not a lot of people have these right now.
No, anything that did come in was all pre-ordered, and as soon as they come in, out they go. So, but I have 2 right now that I'll put on the AWDA's name on them when they come in. So
perfect. Look at that already.
So
let's see who's the first one.
For those of us
Evan
that can't
Anderson.
figure this out.
What's that?
What is it?
I can't figure this out.
What's that?
I don't know how to get the little barcode thing to work with my Zelle thing.
So let me see.
I don't know.
He's talking about the QR code, and Evan Anderson already bought 2 spots. You guys better hurry up.
Son of a bitch. I gotta quit talking.
I know.
Is it?
Shoot, if it fills up tonight. If it fills up in the next 30 minutes, we'll do a drawing tonight.
Oh shit.
Evan wants to bring it to New Mexico.
Yep. So Evan, did Jared just disappear? He's trying to get his wife's phone.
I am.
Yeah. I'm putting in some spots too. So we already, how many we got? How many you putting in, Jared?
I'm just gonna put in 1. You think I'm loaded?
Evan, your wife is loaded.
Yeah, I know, but she's trying to buy me a dog right now.
Oh yeah, you got to get a dog. So Evan Anderson's got 2 right now. He PayPal'd me right away.
I'm going for that dog too.
No, there's not. That's a GoFundMe. That's not a raffle.
Oh shit! Robert just bought 4 spots. Robert Chase just bought 4 spots, guys.
Way to go, Robert.
He needs to stay in the high country.
Hey Chris, can we use the like the debit credit card thing?
Yeah.
Or do we have
just
to
put
use
in your?
Okay.
No, put your.
I'll
No, it all comes to my phone right now, so I can see who's doing it.
Son of a.
So we got 6.
You are to find me.
Look at Dustin Clark wants to be friends.
I do.
Give me that thing.
Sign in the page.
Boom. I got mine in.
All right.
Dustin, I just spent 11 days in Phoenix and Peoria, and I never did see you.
Benny, I stay out on the edge, and I avoid that town. I live like on the edge.
You don't like to go into town.
No, I had to the other day, and I called Chris while I was doing it, and I was mad.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was stuck in traffic. He was
mad.
3 o'clock. I said, "Yeah, you don't want to be like a vampire. You don't want to be out after 1."
No. Yeah, and that's crowding it. I left Sunday morning at 6 o'clock, and I jumped on the 101 to the 10 to the 202 to the 10, and I gassed on it.
I think I got it.
Let me see, who is it? Oh yeah, Derek, I got you. Even though you went to the full cry subscription thing, Derek got one in.
I don't know how to do that techie shit.
It's all right. It went to the same. It all goes to the same account.
Will it work on your computer? Because you just got to take a picture of the QR code.
Frank White. Frank White just bought a. Let me see. Frank White just bought 4 spots.
Chris is going to have to take off his
computers.
shoes to start counting all these entries.
What is it?
Right.
I said you're going to have to take off your shoes to start counting all these entries.
Oh man,
You're going to have to get the twins in there, so you got at least 20 more.
That's what I need to do is put all my family in there.
Oh, don't tell Cody Lynn; she'll start spending money.
Cheap. Yeah.
Wow. I'm buying 2.
Where's Wayne? Did Wayne Bisbee get offline?
2. I
He
don't know.
might
Wayne?
have.
6, 7, 8.
Sarah's
Wayne,
trying to get on the
9, 10.
website. It already
Yeah.
crashed.
We have 14. We have 14 already.
The website
Wayne
crashed.
needs
I
to
can't
put
even
in-
upload it right now.
My website?
Yeah, it won't
Overloaded.
load. Yeah, too many people are on there trying to buy right now.
It can't be that.
It's like when
Go on
tags first come out.
It's gonna pile me here in a second. Let me see. I gotta reset my email.
It works on mine, Jared.
azwda.com
What isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
or azwda.com.
Jared's probably putting in the wrong letters.
Yeah.
He forgot the Z.
Yeah, AWDA was taken, so I put AZWDA. I don't like those long. I don't like the long ones. Arizona Working Dog Alliance. Because then your
That's a long
email
one.
is Chris at Arizona Working Dog Alliance. My business manager
it.
just shut that down. Need more working, less hunting. Oh, come on, Jeremy. It's only $50.
Me?
No, Jeremiah. His old lady shut him down. That's who I assume his business manager is.
That's usually how it goes.
Yeah, that's exactly how it goes.
Don't he know he needs to get in the other room
Yeah.
from his business manager now?
Come on, this is a. Why, you know, I seen our as soon as I said that, we lost like 15, 20 people. So
They were all on their phone.
$1,200.
Just put
AZWDA. AZWDA. Let me put it up there.
Yeah, the website is AZWDA, but the actual organization is AWDA. Chris just gets dyslexic.
Yeah.
We put Excel.
What?
Yeah, Excel.
Yeah, it'll just pop in when it comes through.
Just put
It all goes
something
to
like
the email.
Excel.
I just put XL, or I put AWDA when I Venmo'd him. So
Yeah. Well, anything coming through right now, I can see.
Okay.
AZWDA.
Okay, I just
Who's
put
that?
XL Raffle.
Sarah. It looks like Sarah did.
Yeah.
Looks like Sarah's gonna win something, maybe.
yeah.
I'm putting her name too, Sarah Fisher, on this. One. So we got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14, 15. Not bad. 15.
Well, how long are you going to keep it on here before I put it everywhere else?
I don't know. We usually go for a couple hours, so you got 30 minutes. If we talk for 30 minutes.
He puts that on TikTok, it'll fill up in 3 seconds.
It will.
Yeah, I know.
It'll probably fill up the next one with people that sent money before we cut it off.
You're probably right. Right.
Yeah.
We'll just keep going. Keep going. It don't matter to me.
This time of night, everybody on the East Coast is doing nothing but farting around on their phone while they're laying in bed.
Yep. Even the boys that went hunting already, they've got back in from the house here in the next half hour or something. They're going to be looking through the TikTok there and be like, "Daggum, I need that."
Yep. Maybe we'll just give one away every show.
If we can get that, man.
We're not putting Luke on. We're not putting Luke on first. We're doing.
He had some good information, but man,
absolutely good information.
I don't know if he took a breath in 40 minutes.
I don't think he did take a breath.
Benny was nodding off.
I will say, like what he was talking about, how the deer hunters get mad that we don't kill so many. See, we're just as selective as they are, but the difference is there's 9 million of them dudes out there, and there's like 50 of us in the whole state. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
If we all shot the first thing, you know, if we all killed one, we'd be done. You know.
And that's a double-edged sword. Posting that you killed them and posting that you didn't. It's like, no one's happy. Nobody's happy.
I like your idea. Just take a picture and then don't say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just take a picture of it. Don't say if you killed it or not. Don't say what it is. Just put it down. Let me see.
Yeah. If I kill one, I'll send a picture to Jared and Chris and you guys. And, you know, strangers don't need to see what I'm doing anyways.
Yeah.
Well, any of you guys listening, you want to join, you better join quick. Because once this hits TikTok, you're right, it's gonna go pretty quick.
I'm making it right now.
Oh boy. There you go.
How many
Who's
spots
on?
are there?
40.
Who else is on here? Who else needs a Red Nose? He already.
Where's Brett?
I think he went to bed.
Hang on.
Wayne needs to get in on it for Madeline.
Frank White just bought another 4.
Daggone.
Yeah, Madison needs this.
I had to check it. He said, I said, oh man, there's a double because I always check these. This is why a lot of people are like, oh, my credit card didn't show. I said, it won't. It sends to me. I check it to make sure you didn't put an extra 0 instead of $50, $500, and your card's crazy. So I always check them. And if it's big, and I just checked this one and it said, put me in for another 4. Frank got 8 spots in there, guys. You better knock those out.
Daggone. Is it how many slots? We're doing 40 spots.
We got 19 spots right now.
So there's 21 more.
21 left. 21 left. Who else is Rick Cooley? Come on, Rick. You need one of those.
That's right.
How many did Chris buy?
Couple.
2. Just two. So we got 19. We got 21 left. That one popped in on me. Snuck in on me.
I do one more.
Look at Dustin, busy on TikTok.
I'm telling you,
you're right.
It hits TikTok. It won't make 5 minutes.
Gonna do one more?
Nope. Look at Sarah's getting edgy. I feel like we're at an auction. This is better than an auction.
Yeah, she's like, I think I'm gonna do one more.
You never know.
Yeah. You
see, Jared wins. Jared wins that. He'll have to get
happen.
that.
Bring Sarah to an auction.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
Jared's just mad because I win everything.
There you go. Sarah paid for another one. Right? Yep. There it is.
So you win that thing, Jared. You'll have to get the 300 so you have it in your hand.
Right.
So we got 20 now. Halfway there. I don't think it's going to work real good on a horse. It probably won't work good on a horse.
It depends on where you keep the battery.
We already got the horse problem figured out. You just need to suction cup it
on one of those Mexican saddle horns.
How many?
Man, one of these batteries.
Did you just buy another one, Dustin?
Yep.
Hey, one of these batteries right here will run it.
Hey, Jared, Did you call my
21.
buddy in Utah?
Yeah.
Huh?
Who is this? American Great Outdoorsman
I
Show
haven't
No
done-
Hound Association.
I haven't done it yet.
NRA Friends raised over 1.1 billion combined last season. Can we just have the 0.1? Can we just share some of that? We just want the 0.1. We're not picky. We're not selfish. Yeah,
that great amount. That outdoor show, it's going on right now. It's 9 days long. That thing drags on forever. I used to do that for a hunting company, and man, that thing took forever.
Where
we need to be at those deals.
That's in Pennsylvania, Harrisburg.
So what's 32 hunting associations represent? So who's it? Like, who is it a lot of coon guys, or is it just
no? There's
everybody?
So what he's saying is there's no hound associations there.
Oh, no hound associations.
Yeah. There's 32 hunting association representatives that have a booth there, but no hound guys. It's a big it's like a huge outdoor expo. Like there's outfitters, hunting gear, all sorts of stuff. But it's 9 days and it is huge.
It's like SHOT Show, but just for hunting. And the PKC and the UKC don't mess with it at all. They do their stuff all independently of their own.
Yep. So yeah, I've been to it, but
might have to hit it next year.
Yep.
And it goes on about this time of year?
It's going on right now, the 1st through the 9th of February.
Never heard of it.
All right.
Yeah.
You can see what he does.
Benny, tell us some stories while we're waiting. Let me see. Anybody
What
else?
kind of stories you want? You want some semi-true ones? You want some total fabricated ones? You want some guaranteed ones?
Yeah, why not?
If I would have had Benny's dogs yesterday, I would have held that lion.
Think your dog just wore out, Jared? Or?
He just don't got one of every collar.
No, my feet 2 feet, 3 feet usually. And if that lion gets to whooping on them, they'll back up even more. They don't like to get beat up, which is good. But if I either needed more grit or more dogs.
You needed more dogs with more grit. And yeah, in that situation, you need more dogs with more grit, because you don't want just half your dogs fighting with the lion. You want every dog there. Mortal Kombat. The last time, so
but like
every time I took some dogs to the vet, he'd look at them, he'd stitch them up. The last time I took a bunch of dogs to the vet, I called him in advance and I said, "Hey, I'll be there around noon or 12:30 or something." And he says, "What do you got?" And I said, "I got 5 dogs that are chewed up pretty serious." He said, "Well, you call me when you're around the corner and I'll open the back gate where we bring the horses in. We don't need to bring all that through the waiting room with everybody in their poodles." So I took those dogs. We started getting them out of the dog box, and after he gets done checking them all in and telling everybody what to do with them, he says, "So, Benny, I got these other guys that lion hunt. They say they're lion hunters, and they bring me dogs every now and then, and they got scratches on them, and I do a lot of stitches just for scratches." He says, "None of your dogs have ever had any scratches." He said, "And they're all bite marks, and they're pretty serious." One of those dogs, he had to reach way down inside his ear where that lion had a hold of his head and punctured down in his ear. He said, "I had to knock all 5 of those dogs out. They were so chewed up, but there wasn't anybody chewed up behind their shoulders." He said, "So what's the difference between your dogs and those other dogs?" And I said, "Well, in my world, there's 2 kinds of dogs hunting lions. There's a dog that stands off in the distance and threatens that lion and tells him if he gets too close, he's going to get on him. He's going to do this and that." And I said, "And there's another kind of dog that he doesn't talk about it. He just dives in head first and plans on killing that lion all by himself." And that vet looked at me and he said, "You don't have any of those first kind." I said, not one. And that's what I was telling Jared.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
that's true.
you can't have a split pack. You got to have one. You got to have every dog alike. You get half of your pack. See, so I always hunted. I averaged 8 dogs on my hunts, and so you get 3 or 4 dogs that want to stand back, and the rest of them want to fight. Well, all of a sudden, when you get one of those big mean toms in a hole, however many dogs went in there to fight came out dead.
Yep. Yep. No, absolutely.
And that goes with the fastest
still,
dog too.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. There was some guys
So
over here that.
where we
Go ahead.
So where we caught that lion, the front of the hole was about 8 feet wide, big opening, and then there is a hole to the right and to the left, and then there was a hole on top looking straight down at the lion. And my Charlie dog, I had 4 good dogs and 1 pup. So down at the lion, and my other ones were just in the front hole. And then that lion took either the right or left one on the back door and took off of there. I need, like you said, I needed more dogs, and I probably needed dogs to pull hair to hold that lion.
But when you have dogs that'll pull the hair, you're gonna have to have some vet bills every now and then. But
Yep.
in my world,
Yep.
those dogs when they got to that point, then they ended up face to face with that lion. It became personal for them, and they trailed even harder. They wanted to see that lion. It's like, all right, you dirty pig. It's like one of my dogs that showed ran off and came in with a bunch of porcupine quills. After that, he hated porcupines. It's like, really? Why don't you leave the porcupines alone? It's just something that sets them off in their brain.
Yeah. How hot was it down there? It's been up there 70s, right? High 70s?
It was probably... No. We were 87 on Tuesday. Yesterday, I guess.
Yeah, it was hot yesterday.
Wednesday. So yeah, we were 87 yesterday. It was a dirty hot son of a gun yesterday. When we first caught that line, it was about 10:30. So it was above 80 by then. And then when I pulled dogs off, it was miserable. But the wind, it was probably 85 degrees up on top of that ridge, and the wind blowing 20 miles an hour.
I get a kick out of hearing people, like there's a lot of people that just don't want to go in a hole, and I understand. Go ahead. Then what?
And my hunter, so I looked at it, so he was plumb whooped after yesterday's ordeal, because there was no roads in there. It's just one road in. And so we ended up doing almost 10 miles on our legs. And I was like, so what do you want to do tomorrow? Because he still had like 3 days left on his hunt. And he's all, if I wake up tomorrow, I wake up, but don't wake me up. Well, he ended up not coming out. He ended up not coming out till 9 o'clock in the morning. And then he's like, I'm just going to go home. I'm done. And I'm like, well,
he was wore out.
Still got 3 days left if you want them, but yeah, he's done. He's cooked. Take today off, not do nothing, hang out, and then start again tomorrow. But he's like, no, I'm just gonna go home.
No, you are. You told me 89 times now.
Got it posted yet there? You gonna post it? Think we can we get 18 more in 20 minutes? 10 minutes?
I don't know, but it is, all I gotta do is press go.
I say you press go.
I don't know if you can see
I'd say you press go.
Well, you're gonna have to watch your DMs, but well, you
It's gonna go fast.
Yeah, I'll because I'm gonna have to give them all your Venmo.
Well,
unless
if you just put the address on it, AZ don't tell them to go there.
Yeah, to the donate page.
Mm-hmm. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. 18 in 10 minutes. We just did 22 in what? We have 30 minutes left. We did 22 in what? 15 minutes?
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
You're liable to get too many through this deal.
Yeah.
Well, then we'll go buy another one. Give it away. Then we'll buy a bundle and give it away.
There you go.
Yeah. I want to go out.
Derek, you been out hunting or no?
I ain't been out in 3 weeks. I'm gonna go this weekend, I think. Or what day is today? Today Wednesday?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go one of these days here soon. Either tomorrow, the next day, or this weekend or something. I gotta get out. I was hoping it's gonna cool down. But if it stays hot, I gotta leave one of mine. I can't run that like across in the heat when it's like 87 or something. He'll fall out dead. Of course, listening to Vinny talk, I don't know if I need to bring him. He likes to grab a hold of everything.
My dad was saying there's down there where I hunt in the cropland. There's a ridge that runs the houses, and I've caught that female there a few times because she goes in there and eats dogs and cats and messes everything. And he watches that Facebook. You know, everybody posts that my dog got eaten on Facebook. There's a lion there with 2 kittens, and there's a couple years ago, so it's probably about right where she'd have another litter here pretty quick. Like this year would be the year where she'd skipped a couple, 2 years, 2-3 years. So she might have. She didn't have the kittens. That last year, maybe year before. I think it was last year. She didn't have kittens. So she might have a set of kittens this year. But I guess she'd been harassing them in there. I caught, like on Men in Black when they say they check the hot sheets and it's the Inquirer and all those. Well, Facebook is my hot sheet over there.
So you guys, how many times have you seen where a female with them little kittens, when she's up and moving from the dogs, she'll throw a loose and take time to bury those kittens somewhere and then take off and leave the kittens behind? You guys seen that?
Yeah. And you just, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You get split races with a female down in the bottom of a wash, and then you get a dog up on a rock pile on the ridge with that kitten. I've had that happen a couple times down here.
Yeah, in Arizona.
Dogs will catch the female down in the bottom of the wash.
Where are you going to put the antenna? You put it on top of your cowboy hat. That's where you put it. Right on top of that cowboy hat. I want to know, you mount that on the horse.
You can make that mule. Yeah. You can make that mule look like a unicorn real quick.
Yeah.
Oh,
put it right on his headstone.
Just hang it out the saddlebags and point it out the back, right, Benny?
Yep. And you can tell where you've been that way.
Yep.
They got a backpack antenna too, I'm sure would hook to it.
They do. Yeah, any of your long range antennas that are made for your handheld will hook right to it.
So it's basically just a Garmin and a tablet.
Man.
Have you read any of the reviews on them?
A little bit. So far, everybody's really liked them. There it goes. Yeah, everybody's really liked them. They've been pretty user friendly. I mean, it's still a little bit of a learning curve for sure.
Yeah.
They're a little different, but.
Well, it'd be nice. You didn't have to Bluetooth everything through it either if you just had that in there, because you can still hook your 300 up to your collars just as well.
Oh, yeah.
Get out of your truck.
Both. Oh, yeah. Yep. So, like when I'm hunting with my family, I can leave the kids in the truck and I go for a walk and they can track the dog still and me without having to have two handhelds. They just use that Alpha XL.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if I for some reason lose track of the dogs, they can drive around and still get signal on them and radio to me, tell me where I need to go, just stuff like that when I'm not, when you're not riding. But
they seem pretty handy if you got a side by side.
Yeah, I mean the drive tracks and stuff were nice, but if you get out of the vehicle and someone else is in it, as soon as you walk 100 feet away from it, it loses signal and it does no good. Whereas this one doesn't have to have that at all.
It'd be handy if a guy had left his kids in the truck, got into a nasty hole, or left the wife in there. She could see what's going on.
I've have to done that a few times, and I just got to where I had to have 2 or 3 handhelds.
Yeah,
well, that's what I did. I got Cody Lynn. It's so nice when you have somebody with you when you're walking to drop you off.
Yeah, to drive around, pick you up, and to be able to see where the dogs are and all that. While trying to look at that freaking handheld while you're driving sucks, let alone and this has got a big old 11-inch screen.
Oh, it's an 11-inch. God dang. It's as big as a damn laptop anymore.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to switch to Garmin. This thing's getting me excited.
Maybe you'll win it. Now you have to buy collars.
Yeah, and a handheld too, because I can't pack that giant thing around.
No, you just carry the car battery behind you with the cigarette lighter plug-in.
Well, this battery, I got this battery right here. This is what I have to carry to keep my phone charged with my stupid dog truck. This thing jump my truck like 10 times. It'll run that thing probably all day.
Those are nice. Every outdoors person should have one of them jump boxes. Yep. And they just got smaller and smaller and smaller. When I was tow truck driving, I had a real little one, and it would jump them diesels. I couldn't believe it.
Yep.
It's crazy. They were expensive back then too, like $200.
Yeah. That one cost me $400.
Yeah. So any of you new guys that jumped on, if you guys want to win an Alpha XL, go to azwda.com.
Better hurry before it fills up.
Better hurry. We only got 50 spots, and we got 22 spots filled, and we did that in about 15 minutes. And then someone just posted on TikTok, so that's probably going to blow up too.
Yep.
It's kind of holding off. We got 3 minutes. Unless they start pouring in.
Oh yeah.
If not, me and Dustin will have to do a special live, jump on TikTok or somewhere and do a raffle. Get rid of it. That way we can bring in the other. If there's some overflow, then we'll get another one. We'll just keep going.
Yeah.
Just keep going. Give them away like hotcakes. And I'm watching on my.
Somebody got the Ken Mellons going there.
That's the music I put to the raffle.
There we go.
Oh, crap. Get out of there. And I'm just reposting on his video, so.
Have you been talking to Missy at all, Benny?
I texted her the other day.
Has she been out hunting?
Yeah. Not very much, but not enough. Said that they got a lot of cow work problems because it hadn't been raining, and they're having to. Her and Keith are hunting just a little bit, but she told me that next fall, if Madison can get away and get over there, she will absolutely spend time with Madison, showing her the ropes.
Right on.
We're just all sitting around waiting. Hopefully we can do
Madison's
this draw.
The girl from Montana, right?
Yeah, Wayne Bisbee's daughter. Madison Bisbee. She goes on here. She goes by Benny's little friend.
Yep.
She used to be Little Houndsman.
Yep.
She's 14 years old, and she's trying to get somebody to help her get a line.
We heard from
those dogs.
Cody's back home, I think. Rick Cooley knows.
Yeah,
but he's back home. I think he has got a couple more. Did you talk? You talked to Cody, didn't you? Got an update?
Cody. I didn't. No, I talked to him Monday, and he wasn't home yet. but he was expecting to go home at any time.
I think he's home now.
Today. Clump called me today. He said he's been working cows and running dogs. He says, hurry up and come on down. He says, the dogs are in shape.
All right. You see, I had another one coming.
He was kind of bummed out that Earn Your Spurs had been canceled for this year because he wanted to see Brett try to rope those goats again.
Oh, why did Earn Your Spurs get canceled?
There hadn't been any rain down there since last December, so they're having a lot of shuffling around of cattle and trying to figure out what they're going to do. And then Kelly's husband got in a wreck in Douglas and broke his neck and got all jacked up, so he's in Tucson. They airlifted him from Douglas to Tucson.
Oh,
dang.
That's nuts.
You know, just life gets in the way sometimes, but they're already planning next year's deals.
Yeah. That kind of frees me up, man. I was going to be pretty busy that weekend because I got to go to New Mexico after that, me and Derek. So Jared
I was
is
looking at
hunting.
my calendar, and yeah, when I talked to Kelly and she said, you guys need to know, and I thought, well, I hate that, but whew, you know, there's just a lot going on.
And another one, Troy Ray. I don't know if
What,
that's
Diane?
membership. Oh, there's another one. Who's that? Oh, that's another one from Troy Ray. Sometimes they send them twice because the credit card thing goes in my email, and I check it before I send it. So, let me figure this guy out.
gotcha.
We're not going to get the 40 tonight, are we?
I'll bet you get it tonight, but might not get it on here.
Yeah. Cody's arm is bad, boys. It wouldn't hurt to say a prayer for him. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, that
anybody
is
had
true.
Anybody had seen a picture of it knows that it's horrible. It's not
Bad
good.
deal.
Yeah. I just kind of deleted it from. It don't look. It looks like something in the movies.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not cut. It's called compartment syndrome, where your muscles just blow up. It just blows up, or from stress or whatever causes that. Look up compartment syndrome and all the pictures on the internet. His looks twice as bad.
Yeah, it's nasty.
Yeah, it's horrible. So yeah, say a prayer for that
Well,
guy.
he probably waited longer than everyone else to go in.
Did you get my membership? I did get a membership. Let me see. I got.
Guys, it's 8 o'clock, and I'm going to head out so I don't turn into a pumpkin.
Yeah, I think we'll call it quits and announce once we get 40 or 40. And once we get 40, if it keeps going, we'll just keep going and get another 40 and order another one.
Yeah, right, keep the odds. Yeah, we'll keep the odds in it.
And if we get over 40 on that and people still want to do it, then we'll order another one. Oh,
sounds good.
Okay.
Anyway, you guys have a good evening.
Good luck, guys.
We'll see ya.
Everybody hopes Jared wins it.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, yeah, I forgot I'm in it too.
I like Jared and everything, but I'd like to win that myself.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Night, thanks.
Okay. We'll see you.
Good night. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah. See you, fellas.
Later. Jared, go hunting. All right, guys. $50, one entry. I got you, Troy. I wrote you down. I seen you put in twice. So that I'm gonna text you here in a second when I get done. Bill, you missed it. You got off. Where do you go, Bill? Bill, if you want to win a Alpha XL, go to azwda.com, put a $50 in and get a chance to win. That's how you do it. We're giving away a Alpha XL. So if you know anybody, and if we get enough entries for a second one, we're going to get a second one. So if you want a Garmin Alpha XL, go to azwda.com. Just go to the donation page. A lot of people have been hitting the full cry page. But no matter what, in the subjects or comment, put, if you Venmo or anything, just put Alpha XL, and I'll know it's that. Most of the time I'll get hold of you and double check it if it's something weird. See you down the trail, big boys. All right, guys, good luck. Anybody put in for that Alpha, and you guys be hearing from us soon. We'll see you probably Monday or next Wednesday for sure. You guys have a good night.